Alright, hello YouTube. This video is about confusion and how the enemy tries to use that against us. I'm going to talk about something that I call getting lost in the carpet and how the enemy tries to keep us lost in the carpet. When you start to figure things out, the enemy will scramble. All these carpet people, or tree people as I call them, start coming out of the woodwork, trying to confuse you, trying to make you believe that that your beliefs, that nothing is real, that reality is just whatever you make it. Well, that's a lie of Satan. I'm going to explain that, how I've come to that conclusion. Alright, basically we have, now there's a thing in science called quantum mechanics, and one big lie that's been going around is the double slit experiment, where supposedly these molecules, or these photons, or whatever they are, under this experiment, supposedly, they can function as a wave or as a particle, and measurement collapses the wave function. Supposedly observation collapses the wave function. But there's a talk that I watched that it does a really good job of explaining how mathematically that just is not the case, and while it does temporarily, I guess you could say, collapse the wave function, in reality it's not observation that does that, it's the measurement that does that, and it can actually be reversed. So this is one of Satan's big lies, is that just however you see things, like that, whatever you think, that's your reality. Now there is an actual objective reality, not that things that you perceive are not wrong just because you perceive them that way. Let me explain this. Sometimes we have to take a step back and we have to look at reality and the situation that we're in. You say, okay, for one, you exist. I'm assuming you exist. I exist. I know that because I think. And as Socrates or whoever said, I think, therefore I am. Well, just the fact that I am conscious tells me that, okay, something exists. At least my consciousness exists, right? And I mean, logically following that, I'd have to say my consciousness exists inside something, right? So there is a universe. The universe doesn't just exist because I believe it exists. Because if that's the case, I mean, if it's all just whatever, okay, that would make me God. So either I am God and I just made all this up, or there is actually a universe and I am actually a human being. Alright, so we got to go at it from that perspective, from that point. You can't start at the quantum level and be like, alright, try to explain molecule by molecule, and then because you're never going to get the big picture that way. You have to step back and look at it and say, okay, for one, I exist. I know that much is true. The universe exists. We know that much is true. And basically what I'm saying is that these gang stalkers, as you could call them, these agents of the CIA or FBI or whoever the hell they are, your neighbors who are paid to just screw with you and they don't know why or whatever the hell, it does exist. It's not just something that you've made up in your head. And my point is that you have to realize, okay, either all of this exists or none of this exists. One of Satan's lies is, or one of his weapons he uses against you, is to try to confuse you into thinking that he doesn't exist and that everything is just a figment of your imagination. But what I'm saying is you have to realize that you got to take a step back, get up from the carpet. You got to take a step back and you got to look at the whole of reality and say, okay, either I exist or I don't. And you have to go from there. And yeah, I guess that's basically all I had to say. I know I did a horrible job of explaining it, but maybe, hopefully, some of you will understand where I'm coming from with that and understand what I'm trying to say. Anyway, be blessed.